Brothers Forge Gaming. Right here we're looking at Fallout Shelter on the PS4. Now this is a free-to-play game. I believe it started out as a mobile game a few years back and reached such popularity levels that they brought it to console, which is pretty cool. And I hope that trend continues. There are a lot of mobile games that I find interesting, but I don't really play on mobile platforms in that respect of phones. So here we go, Fallout Shelter. Guys, real quick, wanted to let you know this game, as most free-to-play games on the store, you can't achieve platinum trophies. This one you can. Now, I mentioned this, if you guys have been watching our live streams lately, I mentioned this in our Don't Bite Me Bro first play look at that game, and I mentioned that, I'm not really a trophy hunter per se. You guys know it's fun to get trophies and stuff, and that's kind of how I look at it too. It's just like, oh, cool, a trophy, whatever, but it's been, I've been playing on PS3, PS4 for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now, and it's getting to the point where I'm getting closer to 3,000 trophies, so that's going to be my new goal. But this one right here, guys, was my second ever platinum trophy out of 2,000 trophies, so that should just, say right there, platinum trophies are pretty rare if you're not aware of exactly what that is. But guys, let's take a look at this. I'm going to break down the trophies for you, but I'm going to do that at the end because last time I tried to pull up any other screen while broadcasting, it shut the broadcast down. So we're going to do that at the end. So right now we're going to go in here, we're going to check out the shelter, we're going to collect some stuff. It's those of you adult gamers out there, you might recognize some of these sounds, the casino sounds and stuff. It's pretty funny. So here we go. And right away, guys, this stuff is all based on a timer, so right away I'm going to I have a guy ready to go on one of the quests, so that's another thing you can do in this game. It does have multiple layers, it's pretty basic for what it is, but we're going to try to go right on a quest after we collect all this loot. Well, not really loot, but, you progress your people, collect whatever things you've been crafting. I haven't logged in a few days. I had this set up to get the platinum when I was gonna record. As you can notice there is a little bit of lag. That is one of the few complaints I have with this game, is the lag. And see, you should always get that guy last, because whenever you seem to call that guy, whenever you call a new dweller through the radio like that, it seems like it brings death claws. Yeah, there's just a little bit of lag, and sometimes, I don't know if I need a new controller, but when you're doing this, and if you do it a little bit faster than I'm doing it, it sticks, and so instead of progressing forward, it sticks and tries to drag your guy somewhere. I can't tell you how many times I've taken the guy out of the room, had to go back and reset his training because of a sticky button, and that's rather irritating. Now, as you can see here, these guys are maxed out, so I'll need to move them around. And I need to reset these guys into making stuff, so we're not going to do that right away. If you can notice, some of the floors I have robots. They're called Mr. Handy. They go and collect the resources for you. And while that's good and dandy, sometimes they're more annoying than they are helpful, so you almost want to get those guys set up on a floor where they're not going to be in your way. The worst they are is when you go into battle and you're trying to heal your guys, it like always auto-selects Mr. Handy. It's pretty irritating, but here's an example of a quest. You can upgrade the quest office to let you do 3 quests. So I just had these guys ready to go. Let's check this out. It's actually pretty fun. I remember when I progressed the game to the point I'm like, oh, okay, cool, you can go out on these quests, because you can send your guys out into the wasteland, and it does like an old school text-based quest. It's actually pretty cool. But that's something you want to do kind of right away, because your guys start going and progressing, getting you gear and caps and whatnot. So as you can see here, there's several objectives. And when you go into the thing, you pretty much select each room. Now you can manually target each guy, so everybody's single targeting, and you might want to do that on tougher enemies, because it just progresses the battles a little faster. In each room, you can't really see it there, but each room, maybe you'll notice it in this one, You can see that rack behind me, it's glowing. That signifies that there's treasure. But you can't always tell that there's treasure, so you might want to just, what I do is you just like, you know, rapidly click through the room, because that's pretty much the only way to get the stuff. See, that teddy bear was kind of hiding, so it was, you know, I just kind of progressed through the room like that. It is, I wish there was a different way to do that, rather than having to do that, but you know, it is, that's the way it is. It's what they did for whatever reason. It would be nice that almost like once you clear the room, it auto-loots it, but it does give you the sense that you do have to be paying attention, so that's, you know, that's okay. It's not just easy mode in a sense, but it is, once you've done, you know, a bunch of these quests, you almost don't even want to click in the rooms anymore. I've gotten to the point where I don't even really like sending guys out on quests anymore, but I still do like playing the game. It's fun to construct the shelter in ways like, you know, like construct, reconstruct, because when you start out, you have certain requirements that you have to be doing, so you don't really necessarily get to build the structure the way you want it. So I think I've remodeled my structure like 3 times. I actually had another vault going at 1.2. I thought it would help progress the trophies faster, and it did not seem to. I think it did in a couple of things, but most of the things it did not, so it basically was just doing double duty. But in the beginning, you really can't do a lot unless you want to be spinning Nuka-Colas, which, you know, it's a free-to-play game. This is one of the most accessible free-to-play games I've ever played, as far as not needing to spend real currency to play it. You can actually get a platinum trophy for... so here's an example of single targeting, but to be able to actually get a platinum trophy from a free-to-play game is just, I mean, that is really cool. So I know there's a few out there like that, and the other thing too that I was mentioning is that a lot of time to achieve a platinum trophy, it's unrealistic. You know what I mean? You have to go through and do just some of the most tedious things that you're never going to want to do, and a lot of times, you know, halfway through trying to go for a platinum, you never want to play the game again because you've probably already cleared it like 3 or 4 times trying to get that one note that you can't find in the crevasse. And now this game didn't really have anything like that necessarily. There are a few bugs and glitches with the trophies, to my understanding, so I will go over that here as well if you guys want to stick around for that. Yeah, as far as you go, so you can see here, you can get a gear, you can get you know, a weapon, and you can get a pet. Now, as you can see here, Butch does +4 damage. This MIRV is actually pretty cool. I believe it doesn't target anyone, but it does hit multiple people and do a certain amount of damage. But when there's only one guy on the screen, it does more damage. So that one's pretty cool. And as you go through, you can equip. See all this gear you're picking up, you can equip your guys with different stuff as you go through. I like this. It reminds me of like an old laser tag rifle or something, and if you guys notice the animation, the guy does like this rollback thing after he fires. I don't know if that helps him like dodge damage or if it's just one of the animation effects. Usually the melee weapons use that animation effect. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, like I was saying, for a free-to-play game, not forcing you to purchase anything to get the platinum trophy is just really cool. I didn't spend any money on this game. I've played for hours upon hours, and you know, I still find it mildly entertaining. I'm hoping they put out some DLC or something like that. I'm saving room in the vault for if they do. I've got plans. Because right now it's like I have it almost right where I want it, but I don't want to just add some rooms I'm going to have to destruct later, because you know, the caps aren't like hard to get, but stuff costs a lot, so especially when you start upgrading and doing that. And as for as cheesy and basic as these quests are, they actually have some pretty good... Oh, I skipped through that one. That's always the case if you wait too long to push it, but it actually does have some pretty entertaining storylines, some humorous stuff. It uses pop culture references, retro stuff, which is pretty cool. Oh man, yeah, I always like when you get those colas. That really makes me want to ice cold Coca-Cola in a glass, or Nuka-Cola rather. So, but yeah, it's nice to be able to get and switch the gear in these quests, because some of the quests make you you have to wear certain requirements to start the quest, so being able to switch the gear mid-quest is really cool. Plus, if you find like a legendary weapon in the first room, you know, you might just go like, oh, okay, cool, I'm going to equip that right now. So This one didn't have very many interesting enemies. There's these death claw guys. Okay, let's see if I can get this to work. Well, that right there was an example of a critical hit. It's kind of hard to, it's one of the complaints I have too, is that it's buggy when you try to access that. You have to select the guy and then like hold the button, and more times than not, you're sitting there fighting the damn control to, so see right here, okay, we got it. And as a timing thing, that's like the higher perception you have with your character. So if you look, this was one of the parts that was confusing to me in the beginning too, is the special. They didn't really lay it out, but what it is, those are your stats. So strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, athletics, and luck, and they all feature different abilities for your character. So one tip real quick is that if you are going to be wanting to train your people, when you start getting these like training rooms kind of thing. If you train endurance before you level your guys, they actually get more hit points when they level up. At least that's what one of the tips on the loading screens told me. So but anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at with progressing my guys, is that I have a room full of level 1s all waiting to have max stats before they start leveling, which is problematic because if you get attacked, they have super low hit points, so you have to be like on them, ready to heal them, or they're gonna die. And don't worry if your guys do die, you can resurrect them. It's just only a few hundred caps for whatever level they are. It's not bad, but it makes them unhappy when they die, as you could imagine. So you don't want a vault full of unhappy customers. As far as I've noticed, that their happiness level isn't like all that important, but you do get better production from them. And if you want your people to be happy, But yeah, like I was saying, this wasn't the greatest example of a quest as far as the enemies go. The mole rats are really basic. You see them from the beginning of the game. The undead one guys are problematic. They cause radiation damage. So if you see these things here called the rad pack, and you've got your stem packs, if you guys play Fallout, you're familiar with that. But the guys that cause radiation damage, it affects your hit points, so you can't heal all the way. So you want to always be able to heal the rads and heal the health. And when I first started playing this, I was actually worried that, because I was getting these stim packs and I had no use for them. I'm like, oh, okay, are my people slowly suffering radiation damage, something like that? But I believe the only way they do suffer radiation damage is by fighting the enemies that cause it. Alright, so that is done. That quest is done. Let's take a look. I'm going to return these guys to the vault. So there's your rewards. It wasn't a very exciting quest or anything, but there are some fun ones out there with some interesting storylines. There's one where you're searching for like Hank Aaron's jersey or something, or whatever they call him. They usually use a play on words. Like I found this character, his name was Wes England, and he was in a Jason mask and the coveralls, but Wes Craven is the guy that did all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and Robert Englund was the guy that played Freddy Krueger, but then they have him in a Jason get-up, which is pretty funny. So just little humorous things like that. So alright, and if you look here, you could return these guys for 5 Nuka-Colas, which I would do, but really they just come back and then they wander around. That is one complaint that I have when you do that too. But a quick tip is if you hit square, it brings up this screen. You can go over to status, and if you hit reverse order, it'll bring up the guys that are doing nothing. So you just pull them up real quick, you grab them. To grab them, you have to press and hold X. It's another one of those glitchy things I was talking about that causes some undue frustration. But my biggest thing with this is you got to be patient with this game, because there are a lot of those little things that if you're trying to make it go, it might cause you more problems than if you just take your time. And then it's also with controls, you have to control the camera and progress. And sometimes if you see this middle cursor here, it'll get caught up like that as you're trying to progress up. So if you use like both sticks like you would in any game to look the camera and move your guy, you might have a little bit more success. This is what I wanted to show you too. I've been saving these up. So on quests and different things, you can actually buy these. I was looking in the shop, there was a sale the other day. It wasn't too bad. You could get some Nuka-Colas and some lunch boxes. You could probably spend about 15 bucks and get yourself a decent start. If you are, this game I would say is worth it. I'm just one of those gamers that, free-to-play game, I want to get as much out of it as I can without spending any money. But these are cool. It reminds me of opening You know, if you guys are fans of the channel, you know we like Magic the Gathering, the game here, so we, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's always fun to open packs, card packs if you like sports games. You know, Madden does that. I always love playing Madden Ultimate Team. I believe that's coming out pretty soon. Oh, Special Dweller. Cool, he's in a wrestling costume. Nice. I believe Easy's actually going to be picking up Madden 19. He streams on Twitch. If you guys are wanting to check him out, there's links to that on our channel. So again, guys, we're Brothers Forge Gaming. We're bringing this to you on the PlayStation 4 broadcast, but it's also going to our YouTube channel. So if you guys are just tuning in now and you wanted to watch this full video, go check it out on our YouTube channel. That'll be posted later today. It does take a little bit of time to process, but because we're still live right now and doing it to it. All right, 500 caps. Okay, here we go. Another lunch box. All right, food. Ooh, business suit. Yeah, okay, give me it. Yeah, okay, well, that's a mat, so that's what you need to make. We'll go over some of the crafting in a little bit. Caps. More caps, which is good. And these guys, like I said, these guys are bittersweet. They are very helpful because you don't have to go to the floors and collect all the, you know, food and water and power or whatnot. But they do get in the way. So I wish there was a way that they could make these guys invisible. Maybe they'll update that in a patch to make them to where they're not, you know, in your face. Let's see. So as you can look here, you can buy all this stuff here. I like that pinball machine. Pinball machine, like looking ice chest. That is something I would like. That refrigerator would be cool too, like in your game room. Could you imagine how cool that would be? And as you can see here, you can spend up to $99 for that missile of Nuka-Cola, whatever that is. So you can buy people. I was hoping I had a pet carrier to show you there. Oh wow, Mr. Handies are only 99 cents, so that might be a worthwhile investment there. I got nothing to redeem, so we're gonna go with that. This is one of the guys we got from the. Well, let's see, where does Mr. Handy want to go? You can only have one Mr. Handy a floor, so I guess we'll go stick him right there. They're handy though in a sense. They do help fight the random occurrences that happen, which is why I don't like to have them on this floor. When the death claws come, they just decimate the Mr. Handies. You can repair them if they die, so don't be too worried about that. I need to go put these guys somewhere else, but for now, you do only have so much, you know, space in your inventory, so I like to get these guys when they're new to the vault equipped. Give them some basic stuff. I sold most of my junk gear, so we're just gonna go stick this guy here. Now if you don't want your people mating, you got to be careful not to put the girls with the boys, and when you start getting some of this gear right here with their masks on, it's hard to tell what they are. So but there are some cool different costumes. We're gonna take a look at that. Okay, Radscorpion, these guys are annoying. They just really drain your power when they attack. They inflict radiation damage and they're really strong. So here's a look at what the invasion looks like. And, you know, you just got to stay on top of that. The quickest way to do it is to select for your people. It'll auto heal. It'll just do the icon, but you see that Mr. Handy was hanging everybody up because it progresses it to side. I did have a lot more medical rooms, so because that was one of the issues as well. Is that you can't store very many medical packs, but you need a lot of them. Because right there, you know, 5942, if you're sending people out on quests, right now I only have this one medical bay right here. And before I had you see all these empty rooms, I just had random medical spaces. Now this game does utilize, if you notice, things are built in threes. Yeah, that's the best way to access. You get the most out of your rooms if you build them in threes and upgrade them fully. Now, so what I did with the medical offices, because either way you built them, the storage was the same, so I would just build one room cascading, you know, right here. So you got science and med bays. And if you look at, if you hit, this one, it tells you what your storage is. If you hit to the right there. So each time you build a thing, you can tell, but when you upgraded these rooms, it didn't give you any storage, which was weird, so you basically had to build a bunch of medical things. But the more medical rooms you have, the more power it takes. So as you can see here, I have storage down here, because you don't really, It's actually nice to have people in those rooms because there's fires and those guys that invade and different things, so you want people down there protecting it, because basically if fire happens here, it's going to spread all the way through your building before it slows down. But I like to build those there because, as you can see here, the bottom of the screen is hard to access, but it is nice to have the full thing built. And then here's an example of outfit. So this is fully upgraded, you can destroy there, but so as you can see here, just a look at some of the different stuff. Those are all the legendary gears. I don't have all of them, but I have quite a few. And then you got your, you know, your commons and your uncommons, and the same thing goes for the weapon plant. So you've got, you know, all these cool different weapons you can build. Now the mats for this stuff they're pretty tough to get. I haven't built that much stuff, but as you can see, those horse guys right there are tough. The circuit boards, the watches, you know, this stuff that you need, the beakers. They're rare enough to where you don't want to just be building all this stuff. If you're planning, you know, you might want to wait till you find the cool plan of the game that you, or you know, the gear that you really want to build it, or just whatever, build like the most powerful weapons you have. This was a big one here, was the theme factory. Okay, so you've got all these different themes you can craft. I believe there's 8. You can speed up these processes with Nuka-Cola rather than waiting to find the patterns on quests. There is a bug on this one, guys, so if you are... What's this guy doing over here? Put him in a business suit. If you are trying to go for the trophy, the platinum trophy, there is, to my understanding, there is a bug that you have to... Okay, so there's one, it's called... I did write this down, let me see. Let's see, I think it's called the interior designer, okay, and it says something about crafting. You have to craft a theme, a weapon, and an outfit at the same time. Okay, these guys are cool. Let's go check these guys out. So yeah, it was one of the missions, a limited time quest. I'm not sure how limited, but you know, I did complete that, and then these guys come visit. It says they bring colas and money, but you actually have to follow them around and click on them, so we'll see if we can't do that here. But as I was saying about the interior designer trophy, it's bugged to where if you don't complete it before you clean, let's see, before you, what is that one? Oh no, I believe it's more than handy. So more than handy is craft the theme. So you craft a weapon, an outfit, and a theme, and you have to start those and claim them all within a session, to my understanding, without shutting the game down, or it will reset the thing. So it's glitched in that sense, that if you don't, like, say you start all these, you claim the weapon real quick, you go to bed, turn the machine off, whatever, you come back and claim these ones in the morning, it's not going to register that you did that. So you want to make sure to do that, and these have some really lengthy time frames on them. The themes are like a week to more days. You can speed those processes up with Nuka-Colas and different things like that, but I mean, it's hundreds of Nuka-Colas to you know, every 2 hours is a Nuka-Cola. So there's an example of gathering that. So that's the time frame on that, is that every 2 hours costs you a Nuka-Cola. So you can imagine when there's 100 hours that you... Oh yeah, see, that guy's cool to get the Coke on that one. But yeah, when there's 100 hours, you know, that's 50 Nuka-Colas or whatever. If my math is right on that. But see, this guy was pretty cool. I found him on a quest. He had this neat Minutemen uniform thing on. He came with his own laser musket. He's a badass. But yeah, like I was saying, so you want to complete that quest. And guys, you know, avert your ears, spoiler alerts, there is a really big glitch in this game. I don't know if they realized it or not, but again, everything is based on time. So there is something you can do that might not be... I don't recommend it. And like I said, spoiler alert, stop listening right now, fast forward the broadcast a few little bits here. Let him mute the TV. But you can change the time of your PlayStation forward to increase these timers. Now, that's one of those things, like I said, I don't recommend doing it. It takes away from the quality of the game. But it almost might be, if you're coming to the point where you need to get this trophy done, because like I said, there is a glitch that if you don't complete interior designer before more than handy, you won't be able to get it. It's bugged. So you have to get that trophy before you complete the more than handy. And the interior designer is craft or no, you have to get the more than handy before interior designer. So if you craft every theme before you complete that other achievement, that other trophy, it's bugged to the point where you won't get it, and you have to start your trophy hunt all over again. So there is a way where you can speed up time on your PlayStation in the internal clock. If you have to do that, you know, it's better than having to start completely over to get your trophy. Okay, here's an example of the raiders attacking. Like I said, I don't recommend doing that. It takes away from the game. It's unfortunate that they overlooked that, because it's just one of those things that cheapens the effect. But like I said, if you have to do it to get the trophy, you have to do it to get the trophy. It's not your fault that they poorly programmed the game to the sense where they bugged out their trophies. And if you are going for a platinum, if you are out there trophy hunting, that would just really ruin your day, you know what I mean? And so, you know, there's that. But that's my little bit on that. As you can see here too, I'm going to show you part of the theme. Ooh, new theme. So I got this one, Brotherhood of Steel. You can go with the Institute, Minutemen. I unlocked the Railroad one here. Was the last one I crafted, apparently. I happen to like this one. Brotherhood of Steel just sounds cool. And these barracks. So, you know, it's the same ones for the barracks. That one's nice because there's this guy, he's called the Mystery Man. He comes through and he hides in these rooms, and if you have a timer to find him, he chimes in, you can hear him. It was almost one of those things where it's called, like, you know, when you have your phone on vibrate and then, you know, you take your phone out, put it on the desk or whatever, but you still feel like your phone is vibrating in your pocket. It's called like phantom sensations or whatever. It's the same thing with like this the mystery guy. I think his name is Mystery Man. He pops up randomly and you gotta find him. He's like, where's Waldo? It's actually pretty cool. See, these guys are unhappy. Maybe they're just sad for training too much. But yeah, as you can see here, there's different training rooms. They train the different items in your special. After I had built it, I wish I would have built it like the word special to spell it, so that I did a little bit backwards. I kind of started to do that up here where okay, so yeah, so it's S-P-E-C or A. I don't even know if I spelled it right. But anyway, so I wanted to build that down in the right way. So I actually have 2 training rooms because, like I said, you want to get these guys maxed out before you start leveling them to get their utmost stats. Do you really need that? Probably not. I've already, what I would say, considered beat the game in a sense because I've got the platinum trophy. I can't really progress anything anymore. Here's a look at some of the stuff you can build. I'll just go ahead and start at the beginning. So elevator, the more elevators you build, you know, the more they cost. You can only have 200 dwellers, so I have the full max on the amount of space that you can hold. You have to build living quarters to accommodate more dwellers. Power generator, diner, these are like the basic forms of what you need. Storage room, you're going to need that. That's actually one of the annoying things in this game, is it's always telling you to have low storage for one reason or another, and it pops up and like lags out the game. You guys, if anybody's out there that programs this game that sees this, if you can patch that out, it would be great. Here you need the med bays, the science bays. Like I said, the radio room wasn't like the most essential thing, but it is cool to have, and you can upgrade it and it looks pretty sweet. You got to get these, well, unless you're really going for the trophy. One of the harder ones to get is the craft 20, or to collect 20 legendary weapons and outfits. There's a trophy for each one of those. And just doing quests, you can get those. Like I said, most of the time for these weapon and outfit factories, you don't have the mats to really utilize them unless you want to just build a bunch of random terrible stuff and destroy them, because there is an achievement or a trophy for Scraptastic. It's destroying 500 items. So in the beginning, if you guys are going for that trophy, make sure to be scrapping all of your items versus selling them, because 500 is a lot. That was one of the ones that took a while. And so you can see these are all the different ones for training. The outfits are cool. Theme, it's important if you're going for the trophy to get that one started, because they are lengthy. And then right here you upgrade to your nuclear power, your garden for food, water purification. See, I thought this Nuka-Cola bottler would be where you get to make Nuka-Colas, but basically what it is it gives you food and water. And I suppose if you look at the screen, it tells you right there. But when I was starting this out, I didn't really notice that. So Alright, so I'm gonna go zoom in on these rooms real quick for you here. As you can see, as you progress, you get the level. If you zoom all the way in, you get the nice music. You can see a little bit more detail. So here's an example of the fully upgraded radio room. It's pretty sweet. I wouldn't mind having one of those in the area. This one's pretty cool. This is the game room. They're in there. Look at all those pinball machines. That just looks like a good time. Here's the lounge. Yeah, karaoke. You got a bar, of course. You got the jukebox rolling. You know, that's the upgraded. You know, these are just all the upgraded rooms. That's the importance of building the 3 rooms together, is that you can fully upgrade them and maximize your, you know, your time, because it speeds up their training time, plus it just, you know, it looks cooler. And that one's neat because they're watching some kind of show. You got the skeleton guy in there. But, you know, basically, guys, that's going to be it. I'm going to go real quick over I'm going to take a look at the items real quick to give you an idea what you're looking at there. So if you hit circle, it brings up these. You can look at your quests. We'll go into that actually right after this. These are your, you know, your objectives. Now this is another one of the trophies that are harder to get. This one, it says complete 100 objectives. These are the objectives it's talking about, not objectives on quests. It's misleading. So you got to complete 100 of these, and this is probably one of the harder trophies to get, because you got to do, you know, some of them are tough. Now you can skip one a day or more for Nuka-Colas in a progressive manner. It costs you more the more you skip per day, but it'll reset at the next time you get your daily report. So some of these aren't bad, but some of them take a long time. Collect 80 outfits. If you're out there questing, that'll go quick. Kill 60 creatures will go quick. The mole rats, really, the further you get in the game, the less they attack you. So, you know, that one's one you could skip to progress the thing faster. Now, if you look at this is one of the things I was talking about. You're always needing storage space, and then you know, it's telling you low storage for your med supplies as well. So even if you have extra storage space for your items, you're pretty much always going to be maxed out on your meds, and that thing's going to be popping up. But here's an example of scrapping. So you can either sell that or scrap it. So this is where, like I was talking about, for the Scraptastic trophy, you want to hit the triangle to scrap it. I'm going to sell it because I already achieved that trophy. But you gotta, you know, this is another thing. If you don't like inventory management, like having to go through, here's one I'm going to scrap because you can get mats for the blue mats, which are rare. So that's not one of the rare items. Oh, I should have been selling that one actually. So I don't get anything cool for that one. Let's see here. Let's see what this one gives us. So you can sell it, because you don't, you know, really need those. But then the Wonder Glue, that's one of the ones you need to make some of the more rare items, you know. And then the same thing you get for your gear. And then here's an example of the mats. As you can see, the blue are the rare. Those are the ultra rare. Green is common. You get quite a lot of the commons, especially if you're deconstructing the items or scrapping. All right, and that's gonna be a look at that. Let's go look at the quests. So here you can take a look at all the different quests that have been completed. You know, there's a ton of these things. So right now, those are the guys that are coming back. There's a daily and a weekly. Keep an eye on these, because that's actually pretty good. 2 gold mats that you can get, and then the weekly sometimes offers you a Mr. Handy or a good amount of money. That one's not really all that impressive. Yeah, here's the other one, Jobinson's. I forget what it's like Jackie Robinson, but this one it's like Jobinson, Jackie Jobinson, or whatever his name is. Part of the humor that I was talking about. Now, let's see. Yeah, Deathclaw. I was hoping to show you guys some Deathclaws. They are a terror in the beginning of the game. You really got to set yourself up to protect yourself from them. But really, those are probably the only quests I have left here, is to complete those. I might at one point, finish those out just to see what goes on with that. But as you can see here, the way I have this designed, originally you build the vault over this way to the right here, because that's the natural progression of the space you have. What I did was redesign it so that when the Deathclaws come in, they have to go through all my people, because before they were just randomly running buckshot through the whole building, running into my rooms like this down here and killing all my guys training. But right here, the only way to get there, they have to go through my fun house. Felt like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone, you know. I'm like, yes, come through my fun house. Yeah, you thirsty for more? Whatever he says. I gotta watch that movie again. It's coming up, guys. Holidays. Look forward to that. At Brothers Forge Gaming, we're gonna be, we take our holidays. We have a lot of fun with that. We do Halloween. We like Christmas. So if you guys are interested in that, we're going to be streaming some games there. We're going to be, I'm thinking I'm going to play Evil Within, possibly. I played it on PS3, and I have not played the port to PS4 of that, and I have been wanting to do that. I've just been kind of waiting for the price to come down on that one, so I'll probably pick that up for this season and do some streaming on that. So if you guys are interested in that. Real quick, guys, I just wanted to go over, I didn't do this in the proper order that I wanted to, but Armed and Dangerous and Fashion Statement are the one to collect 20 legendary weapons and outfits. That's a trophy. That's one of the ones it's tedious, but it's not, well, not even really tedious. It just takes a while, because if you're out there questing, you're gonna get it, but it takes a while. The Overachiever much is the 100 objectives. Now that's the one, like I said, that one's just going to take time, and you got to be on top of those if you want to be getting it, or it's going to take you a while. Then there is Interior Designer, is all crafting all the themes. Again, that's just another time one. You'll get it eventually. Don't freak out. I mean, if you're in a hurry, you can use Nuka-Colas, whatever. The Scraptastic one is the scrap 500 items. And again, if you're questing and you're doing all those things, you're going to be getting the items to deconstruct or scrap, and it'll just happen eventually. And then the More Than Handy is the one that's bugged, guys, so you got to really be careful with that one. Get that done before you get Interior Designer done. And like I said, if you have to use that thing I talked about earlier, which I'm not going to say again now in case you're just tuning into the broadcast, I don't want to cheapen the experience of the game for you. So if you want, go back and listen to that, probably about in the middle of this video or so, to get past that. If you have to use the cheat, is, if you want to call it what it is, to bypass that glitch, you got to do what you got to do to get these trophies, because it's not our fault that the designers didn't program that trophy right. So that's that one. And right now, guys, what I want to do is I want to go try to look at the trophies real quick. So last time I tried to do this, it bugged out. So if this is the end of the broadcast, guys, it's the end of the broadcast. Stick around. Check us out on YouTube. We're Brothers Forge Gaming. We're going to be doing some streaming. Going to try to get on a schedule with that going forward. But right now we're just experimenting with all this. So I want to say thanks for tuning in. I'm not sure exactly how to respond to comments. I have it in this full screen mode. So if anybody's been commenting, I apologize. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to get this information out there, and if you do have any questions, leave them in the comments on our YouTube page, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. But real quick, let's go take a look at these trophies if it doesn't cut us out. Okay, so now as you can see here, guys, that's the Platinum Trophy. Originally I had tried to time it out to where I was going to get the Platinum Trophy on the air, but for whatever reason it didn't work out that way, unfortunately. But I was really excited about this. This was my second Platinum Trophy in, I think, the 5 or 6 years I've been playing PlayStation, so I don't really go after trophies all that much, but it's kind of going to be something I want to go for now because I'm getting closer to 3,000, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get 3,000 trophies. I'm not really going to be going after too many Platinums unless they're easier to get. Like this one is pretty easy to get, so we're going to go over that real quick. So you've got the Platinum, obviously got to get all trophies. 1,000 caps, easy. 50 room rushes. That one isn't easy per se, but you basically, it's a function in the game, you're going to get there. Same with build 25 rooms, 50 rooms, collecting 1,000 caps. These are all ones that you're going to just get there from playing the game. If you enjoy playing this game, this trophy is super easy to get, and most of these come very easily. One room of every type, you get there at the end. These are the ones I was talking about here. They're a little bit harder to get. They're just time consuming. And as I'm picturing in my mind, you guys can see this, it just told me that you can only hear the voice on this, so who knows if it's even still going. Successfully stop 50 raider attacks. This one is, that just happens. Overachiever much is the one I was talking about. Complete 100 objectives. Those are objectives within the vault, not quest objectives, and that one does take some time, so you got to stay on top of that one. Atom Splitter, merge 3 rooms. Power rooms, food rooms, dash and dine. Project Purity, 3 water rooms. Those are all easy. They come quickly. Make 25 babies. That one's easy to get. Prepared for the future. A better future underground. Upgrade 20 rooms to level 3. That'll just happen over time. Smooth talker. Make 25 dialogue choices on quests. Gonna happen over time. You're fired. Kill 10 quest bosses. This is gonna happen. Complete 10 quests. Wasteland Wanderer. Urban Ranger. Complete 30 quests. Survivalist. Complete 60 quests. Legends of the Waste. Complete 100 quests. Paint Nebel Grease. Collect all fragments of a theme recipe. Decorator, collect all fragments of 4 theme recipes. Interior designer, craft every theme. Now this is the one I was telling you it was bugged. You must complete the other one before you complete interior designer, or you will not be able to get that trophy, and it will really upset you if you're going after these trophies. I know I would be devastated if that happened. I'd probably, you know, yeah, anyway. Enemy of the Waste, kill 500 enemies on quest. This is going to happen. Big Pharma, collect 100 stim packs and 100 radaways on quest. It's going to happen. Scraptastic, just takes time. It's scrap 500 items. Weaponsmith, craft 10 weapons. Easy. Fashionista, craft 10 outfits. Easy. More than handy. Now again, this is the one, like I said, this must be completed before interior design, or if it's glitched, if they haven't fixed it yet, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to go with that it's still glitched. You must complete this one before interior designer. More than handy, craft an outfit, weapon, theme, and that achievement in itself is glitched. You must be in the same session collecting all those, starting them and collecting them within the same session without closing out the program, to my understanding, to get that quest. So that's the one you might have to use the trick for, like I talked about. And then a little off the top, change the appearance of 10 dwellers in the barbershop. That's easy. That's just going to take time. And now I'm not sure if we got cut off there. Hopefully you guys were able to listen to that information there. If you haven't, like I said, leave me any questions in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer any of those questions for you on how to get these trophies. They're all relatively easy, just take some time, but there are a couple that are bugged, guys, so keep that in mind when you go after these trophies. Alright guys, you've been hanging out with Brothers Forge Gaming. We appreciate your views, your likes, your comments, and if you guys like what you see right here, if you could give us a subscription, it helps out tremendously, and we appreciate it. Alright guys, tune in next time. I mean, like I said, I'm going to be trying to get these streams going regularly, at least once a week. Right now I'm trying to feel all this out, so you might be seeing a couple more streams out of us right now. And then Easy is streaming over on our Twitch account. He's playing FIFA, he's going to get Madden, he's talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out, some other games. So guys, look forward to his streams on Twitch. Check us out on YouTube. We'll see you next time.